Hello, 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 and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah, and I am a master manifester, and I'm sure you are too. Because you are consuming content like this, the name of this channel is Holistic Manifesting, because I believe in a whole body, whole mind, and whole being experience when it comes to manifesting these amazing lives that we are choosing. What I am discussing in this video is, have you ever felt like giving up? And I'm probably preaching to the choir. But I think just about everybody I know and I've been in contact with have come to a point when they're dealing with something or doing something or going through something to where they feel like this is it. I can't handle it. I don't have anything else to offer. I'm giving it. I'm giving in. And every now and then we might actually follow through with that. But when we don't follow through with that, it's when we dig a little bit deeper into ourselves and we find those places to where we didn't know existed. We find that strength that was already inside of us, buried down deep, and was like, okay, I guess I can do another day. We find those routines and those mindsets and those concepts and the ideas to say, okay, I guess I can do another 30 minutes. I can do another hour. I can do another week, I can think of so many trying moments I've experienced in my life where I was working on something or trying to create something or trying to develop something or trying to do something. And because of the way that I was approaching it, it got incredibly hard. And it got incredibly hard because in my mind, all I wanted was to be done with it. I wanted it to be over. I wanted it to be through. But what I didn't realize is that at the time, and what we always don't really focus on in those moments, is that when you are not being pulled out of a situation or circumstance, or you are not being delivered something that you know that is you qualify for and you should have in your life, is because you are being refined. And when I say being refined, you are being challenged in a way that you finally decide it really doesn't matter how negative I feel towards this. It really doesn't matter how bad I feel towards this journey or this process. I'm going to keep at it because I know that the outcome is going to be something beautiful. And sometimes we might use this in the wrong places, in the wrong context, but everyone has to know for their own specific life when they should apply these things, when we should throw in the towel, and when we should say, no, I have more strength in me to go forward. I have more left in me to go forward. And so I always never say, take advice from others, never give up on this, never give up on that. When it's something that you understand to be an ending in your life, something that's over, something that's done with, something that you no longer want to give your energy to, that is up to you to decide, because no one else can know what you're going through and what your total outcome is going to be, right? But we've had those moments to where we want to keep going with things. We want to keep on creating something. We want to keep on writing that book. We want to keep on creating that documentary, right? We want to keep on and doing this particular job or work because we know it's going to lead to something else. We want to keep running that business. And we get to the points to where sometimes we're like, I just can't do this another day. And then we go to sleep and we wake up in the morning and somehow we have, like 5% more left in that battery. And, it just shows up out of nowhere, right? It shows up because the creator's already put it inside of us, right? But sometimes it's so hard to find those things. So when you feel like this and you feel like you've gotten to those points of giving up, always think about, what can I do to inspire others? I find that is the quickest way to renew your spirit, to renew your mind, to renew your battery, to make you feel like you're doing something that's worthwhile, to make you feel like you are bringing something special to the environment, to make you feel like what you are doing and what you're going through is not going to all be in vain. Some of the proudest moments in my life have not even been with the accomplishments that I have. Those are very proud moments, don't get me wrong. But some of the more proud moments have been when people have come out of the blue and said, that course that you were teaching on this, I truly learned something in that. You know what? I took it with me when I started working for this company, and that idea and that mindset never failed me. I just wanted to let you know how much you inspired me. And it's a class that I taught 5 years ago. I mean, the invigoration that I get in that moment, I'm like, oh, wait, something I did 5 years ago, somebody's using a day and they are using it to create a beautiful and abundant life for themselves. It created clarity for them so that they can live however they choose to live. So it's like what you're doing matters. It's like that's more of a boost than any little award or any job can be handed to me, or anybody can, come around and give me money for something that I've been doing, knowing that it's affected other people and knowing that it has expanded someone else's life the same way that I'm looking forward to expand mine, is like priceless. It's truly priceless. So one of the quickest ways that I have for myself is when I'm feeling down, or I'm feeling like none of this is working out, or I'm feeling like, why do I even keep trying? Why do I even keep going? What is the point of me even doing this? If I can't line up with the idea that I'm just going to do it because I love it, then there's something else that I need to tap into. Something like a YouTube channel, creating this content, and interacting with the people. I've been loving it, right? And the more and more subscribers, the more people leave comments. I love the feedback and interacting. It's a beautiful community. It's a beautiful space. I just love it. So I decided a while ago that I was going to do this regardless. I was going to do this no matter what. I was going to do this whether the channel grew to a certain way or not. I'm not trying to extract anything out of it right now outside of being connected to other people who are also on the same path, right? And sharing these things that I picked up along the way. That's it. But when it comes to other things, say it's like something that I'm working on related to trying to heal something in a particular area of my life, trying to heal a mindset, trying to let go of something, trying to become a better person to a certain degree. When it comes to those things, I've gotten to many points where I didn't have any more gas in the tank, where I didn't have any more energy to put towards it. I was like, just forget it. This is just who I am. This is just what it's going to be. And I'm never going to grow there. And this is just where my life stops in this particular area. And I'm going to put it on the shelf and I'm just going to turn my attention to something else. Well, we already know when you're doing something like that, when you're trying to heal, that it's just going to come back to bite you. The minute you're all rainbows and butterflies and you're enjoying something you really love in your life, that thing is going to move to the next level. And then that trauma that you refuse to acknowledge, or that healing that you haven't done yet, or that negative energy that you haven't dealt with yet, it resurfaces in your life. And now it's mixed in when you're enjoying something and things are going great and you really have to deal with it, or you risk not having those amazing things you've created in your life, right? You risk not being able to experience it to its fullest, like having to hold yourself back, having to always think about, I would feel good about that, I would do it, but I just don't have the energy to do that. I've seen this come up several times in different relationships with people that I have, to where this person has decided to stop growing somewhere. And what happens is that it limits the interaction that we can have. And I've always thought, like, if they just had a little bit more gas in the tank for going through what they don't want to go through, for healing that thing, for expanding themselves, for exposing themselves to the next level, we could really have a much deeper and a much brighter and a much more enjoyable connection. And I've been this person in someone else's life. So think about, how can you get beyond that? How can you inspire others? If you think about yourself as a tool for inspiration, then you're not caught up on whether or not you're doing something perfectly. You're not caught up on whether or not, you're going to get what you want to get out of it, right? The reason why I love doing these videos, writing books. Oh, I just finished a new book. I'm very excited about it. And I was talking to someone randomly in a Zoom meeting just a second ago, and they said, "Did you write a book recently?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "What is it? Is it called?" And they named the name of it. And I'm like, that's, it's not out yet. It's be ready for pre-sale soon, but it's still with the editor and I'm still working some kinks out of it. And I'm waiting for my proof to come in so I can have it in my hand. But it was just so interesting because they were so impressed about it, excited about it. But I realized in that moment, it's like you become a vessel, you become a tool for inspiration for other people. And it's not even about, whether or not you make money on this thing or you get this back. All those things are beautiful additions to the impacting people positively aspect of what you are doing. So the quickest way to refill your tank, the quickest way to replenish your soul, the quickest way to renew your mindset is going to be to think about every morning when you get up, every time when you're rolling out of the bed, before you even put your feet on the floor. First of all, I'm grateful for everything that I have access to, experience, and all those good things. And then the next thing you got to say is, how can I inspire others today? How can I offer some inspiration to others? And when we're talking about inspiration, that has nothing to do with trying to get something back. When you get feedback from being an inspiration to other people, it's always when you least expect it, when you're not even looking for it, and when you didn't even know it was going to pop up in that day. So think about that. If you're ready to give up on something, if you want to quit on something, and you feel like you're running out of gas, you're running out of energy, and you don't have any more in you, how can what you're doing be an inspiration to others? Plenty times I wanted to quit these certain places I was doing things in to make money for a bigger goal. But then I looked over at my little princesses and I'm just like, they're looking at me for inspiration, even though, that's not why I'm doing it fully. But they're looking at me thinking, is she going to give up on this thing because somebody's getting on her nerves? Or is she going to replenish that tank in whatever way she has to in order to create this thing that she wants to have in order to complete that goal? Because when you have children, when you have people that are looking right at you, you're giving them permission to give up on things when you don't find a way to replenish yourself. So as I said before, only you can know whether it's something that you can replenish, and only you can know whether it's something that you need to let go of. But I think we are intuitively tapped in when we know that this is growing me, it's strengthening me, and it's giving me a hard time, but I know this is where I'm supposed to be. And we intuitively know when we're like, this is not where I'm supposed to be. This is going to kill me. And if I don't get out of it now, this is going to be the bane of my existence for the rest of my life. Only we can know that for our own lives. But think about that every day. How can you inspire others? How can what you're doing right now inspire others and allow them to create and expand and expose them to more in their lives? Once you do that, you'll be replenished. You'll be refined. In those moments where you just can't take it anymore, somebody's going to send you a text message and say, you inspire me to do this. Somebody's going to send you a message on LinkedIn and was like, one of my favorite times of working at that company was when I worked with you. You were always so disciplined and on top of everything. And you're just like, well, maybe I am a good person. And you know what? You can get right back on track. I promise. Anyway, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.